I say let's dismantle the hate. And what you saw in this city, in this election, where you saw a shift and the city becoming, and the state becoming redder, is because we stopped talking about working class people issues. When mom and pops are afraid, I can't pay my college tuition, the rent is too damn high, healthcare is too expensive. We stopped talking to everyday New Yorkers and Americans. When I'm in the street talking to them, they're not asking me, Eric, tell me about fascism. They're talking about finance. They're not talking about Hitler. They're talking about housing. We need to talk to everyday working class people, and we stopped doing that. And those are the issues that they are afraid of. They're afraid of the future of their children.
So you heard us talking about RFK Jr. being the head of HHS. What do you think about that appointment?
The executives will nominate and bring in those who they believe will move their vision forward. And everything from the fluoride issue, I believe we should have fluoride in the water based on what my experts are telling me. But let's be clear, we have a real problem with our food in our country. And we need to watch what we're feeding our children. And
what is the major problem, do you think?
Too much hormones. You know, many people know my, you know, I almost lost my sight with diabetes. The doctor told me I would be blind in a year. I was going to lose my fingers and toes. And it was my food. It wasn't my DNA. It was my dinner.
But JFK Jr. RFK Jr. ate some pork and now he has a brain worm. Is he the person that should be in charge of that?
Yeah, well, let's
food?
Right, and let's understand this also. In all of these agencies, there are thousands of employees and experts that understand these topics, and there are rules, there are regulations.
Mayor, a lot of them want to resign. When they see some of the people that are going to be on top, I think there's going to be a mass exodus of people who have the institutional knowledge and the institutional memory and DOD at HHS. Who wants to work under our cook?
And let me respond to that. If we love our country, then no one individual should take us away from our mission.
Yes.
If you dedicated your life to a particular place, I dedicated my life to law enforcement. So if a new commissioner came in that I disagreed with, I was not going to say, I'm going to resign. Let's love the country. Let's love our cities. Let's get away from the rhetoric of the professionalism that we know. Those are experts in this. They're going to look at his proposal, do a real analysis, and make these decisions. It happens every day.
Shouldn't he have a background at least? He should have some kind of background in this type of thing.
Let me just... Okay, so Mayor, when Trump returns to office, he will actually have a lot of power with the Republican-controlled Senate and House. He's suggested at times using the National Guard to target the enemy within, and key members of his last administration called him a fascist. But you've defended him. Can you explain?
No, I defended the rhetoric that we're using across our country and what our children are listening to and what we're doing. We've reached a point in this country where we no longer want to engage in conversation. They were even calling him Hitler. That's an insult.
That was only his vice president.
That was an insult. That was an insult to the millions of Jews and others who died. We know what Hitler did. And what I said to our country, when I'm on the streets talking to my young people who are protesting on college campuses, wearing Hamas signs and calling for the destructions of groups, I said, we have to bring down this rhetoric. We have to start engaging in conversation. You know, Obama said it right, and I agree. This is not the divided state. This is the United States. We're the greatest country on the globe, and people are watching us and name calling.
But do you think Trump should have brought down the rhetoric? Because
everybody should.
Well, let's start at the top then, because maybe it trickles down.
Everybody should. Everybody should.
So, Mayor Eric Adams, yet again, is coming out to defend Donald Trump to the surprise of everyone. I just was pushing on, like, what, 2 YouTube videos ago. I broke down how I said he's going to be, from what it appears to be, transitioning with Donald Trump and becoming an ally to MAGA opposed to just being a threat to it. It's hard for a lot of people to accept this because of what we've seen in the past, the amount of division. But I want to remind everyone that Bernie Sanders just about an hour or two ago sent out a tweet saying that he can't wait to work with President Trump, and he's super thrilled to work with him in getting these things done for our country. And it's the same type of messaging that I'm seeing from a plethora of Democrats that are saying they can't wait for a Trump return. I just think we're actually about to get to the peace that we were promised in 2020. Do you remember in 2020, everyone was wearing purple? the propaganda pieces, the liberals and the Republicans that were all a part of the big deep state. They were wearing purple at inauguration because they claimed we were coming together. They were trying to force something that we're seeing naturally. Super shout out to Mayor Eric Adams for standing on his 10 and defending President Trump, and also admitting that he helped turn New York red because of the ideologies that the left have. It's pushing their own people off. It's gotten too radical. Hey, like one of my last YouTube videos, I broke down that Republicans pretty much in a way kind of push cancel culture first during the Harry Potter era, NWA, and many other things for the sake of Christianity. Things were canceled in the past. And we lost a lot of support, which took us a long time to get back, support that we're just now seeing. And I'm saying that to say this because liberals have gone down a very radical path, which has alienated standard Americans. Americans don't want to feel like they're forced to be a liberal or a conservative. So Eric Adams coming out to do this, it just further validates the point that we are reaching the middle ground that we were already promised that we could obtain. Him to come out and say this, it's very interesting for him to do it during this time too. Eric Adams recently had that raid on not only his house in New York, but also his assistants. It does look like the Democratic pendulum is swinging pretty hard towards his direction. And this is also the individual we know that gave Diddy the key to the city. Which, if you don't know, Diddy was the first celebrity that had the key taken away. Eric Adams had to take the key away. So it does seem like, to me, I feel like Democrats low-key have been setting him up to destroy his reputation. And I'm saying that because it isn't like he was the one that truly chose for Diddy. It's a whole entire collaboration of New York City that chooses. I'm sure the mayor gives one of the final seals of approval. But the truth is, he has been a target of liberal corruption for a long time. A lot of people don't know this. Jamal Bowman actually was going against his liberal constituents, because Jamal Bowman was going against AIPAC and all of these other people, and they claiming that the Liberal Party was compromised. It's interesting because he was going against the status quo of his own party, and look what they did to him. They pushed him right out. Eric Adams has to be careful because he could be heading out that same road. Liberals don't like when their own are being controlled, that they control or starting to control them. They don't want you exposing their own dirt. They want to give you dirt to expose. They pushed Jamal Bowman out. They pushed Cori Bush out, and it looks like Mayor Eric Adams is the next target. But with this anguish that they're building in Mayor Eric Adams, it's leading to collaborations with President Trump that we could only have dreamed of. If Trump has a way to turn New York red with the help of this mayor, there's a good chance that liberals wouldn't win an election for the next 12 years. It's just my own conclusion about the situation. So he plays a vital role in us seeking peace. He plays a vital role in us getting to a middle ground. Is it random that Mayor Eric Adams came out to defend Donald Trump, and in the same day Bernie Sanders said he can't wait to work with the guy? We need these points of discussion, and that's why they keep us from talking, because the most insignificant conversation can lead to the largest changes for humans as a whole beyond just this country. We need to start speaking, and as I said before, we need to start creating some middle ground. We live in this country together. We need to start acting like it. We can unite over Trump, and I believe it's the best time to do so. Let's not burn cities down. Let's not call people freaks. Let's not talk about the genders. Let's not talk about people for being different. Let's just find some middle ground first and then say, how can we improve what we already have? It's at the time where we're at the point in time in history where we've had enough division, we've had enough war. No war lasts forever. Our internal cultural civil war, to me, has been going on since about 2015, 14. Some might go even farther back. I know Obama. But nonetheless, it's been a cultural civil war, and nothing lasts forever. What goes up must go down. We're at the point in history where it's time for a shift, where we are going to see the effects of all those causes of hate. And it's leading to people that belong to the party that was pushing hate the most start to rebel against their own party. This is the effect of their causes. I believe conservatives and liberals in 2025 are going to be close, similar to 2001. Mark my words. And I do believe we're also going to have a common enemy. It is time for us to heal. It ain't time for us to forget. Because if you forget, that's how history can repeat. History only repeats when people forget it. But we can heal. We can note and citate what has happened, and we can prevent it from ever happening again. But it's time for us, in my opinion, and many opinions, to come together. I welcome New York Mayor Eric Adams and any other liberal that's ready to come in the right way. And I feel like it's time for us to make America healthy again. Let's get this done, man. Let's accept our neighbor, and let's make this place look a whole lot like 2001 again. Specifically 9/12. If we can get America to look like September the 12th, 2001, we're headed down a great track. We need to look like the day after the disaster. Please like, comment, or subscribe. Click the notification bell to stay updated. Thank you.